and the price of steel is based on 3 days this week looking for very specific tools and one specific type of I-beam. Okay, so in my precursor on my other channel, the notification I put up, I mentioned that searching for tools and or equipment in the Philippines could be a nightmare. So let me just try to explain this to you briefly before I go into great detail. What would take me exactly less than 3 minutes, and this I've done many times in America to do on the phone, I already have 6 hours of research and actual footwork to go to the brick and mortar store to talk to somebody to order something that they are in charge of ordering but don't know what it is, or the nomenclature, the price, the quality of the steel, in this case steel I-beams, how long it would take to get, and the availability of the item. So I spent about a half an hour with a very nice counter girl who just is not a construction or steel fabricator. She has no knowledge of steel fabrication, none at all. She was very nice, and what I did was I broke down how a steel I-beam is constructed, which parts, what we call in America from our nomenclature, what it looks like. And then she had, after about half an hour, she had an understanding of what a steel I-beam was. But the thing is, in order to order a steel I-beam from outside of Build-A-Ware, they have a selection of thin wall, thick wall, scaffolding, tubing. They have a great selection of metal studs, what's called purlin, square stock, even like 1/4-inch square stock if you wanted to make an ornamental rail. This is Build-A-Ware in Bohol. 1/2-inch square stock, even 3/4-inch square stock. And it all comes in 6-meter lengths. They have a large, very large array of steel there. But when I spoke with the gentleman, I think his name was Ray, but when I said to him I would like to see your book, like a book with a chart on I-beams, he said you'll have to go in and see the counter people, and I know who they are because I have ordered special things from them before, and there's usually 3 girls at the counter. But again, they're not contractors. They're not like, they haven't been in the construction trade their whole lives. They were probably cash register girls, and after a certain period of time where they show up on time every day and they perform their job function properly, they probably get elevated to this counter salesperson position because they don't know what they're selling. And I'll get into the detail of that momentarily. They're not trying to help you. They are trying to help you. It's not like they're not trying to help you. They just don't know what it is you want. Because in the case of the lady that was helping me yesterday, she didn't know what a steel I-beam was. She had no idea what it was. Well, she knew what it was, but she didn't know that what we call the web and the flange, or the thickness of the web and the flange, and the height. And she didn't know any of that stuff. She didn't know the weight, like how much weight you can pretty much determine what the load-bearing weight on an I-beam would be by the flange and the web and the weight and the wall thickness. But she didn't. There's no book there. There's no book. I had to draw it in her book. I drew it on my piece of paper here. Well, I drew it out on my book, and then I showed it to her and then we both drew it in her book. I'll show you. Where is it? Yep. Oh, the elusive I-beam. Well, anyway, I drew it out for the lady, and we finally came to a conclusion that based on the measurements I gave her and our drawings, and and that she was going to pass that information on to the inside people in the office. I remember her. Her name was Joy. Very nice girl. She was actually a joy to work with. But so after Joy and I spent the better part of half an hour drawing this beam, and then I made it very clear to her what each part of the beam was, and I gave her the dimensions. Then I gave her an option. If they didn't have a 4-inch web, 3-inch flange, I would take a 6-inch web with a 4-inch flange. Well, that was a whole nother drawing. And anyway, so she's going to pass that information on to the woman in the office. Now, this was at early yesterday morning. And then we're going to get right back to me with a price. So one of the questions I asked Joy was, how long do you think it could take to get the beam? Because she must have ordered something from this company somewhere at some point. And she says, well, it could take anywhere from 1 to 3 months. Really, to order a steel I-beam. So this lockdown has got everything screwed up. I'm sure that's one of the main reasons. So then I said, well, what would be the requirements? She goes, well, we'll give you a price we'll text you. Now, so far she hasn't texted me, and it's been it's a whole work day, but I didn't expect to get a price today. But after they send me a price, I said to her, with the specifics of the beam, so I could see what the load-bearing weight on the beam would be, and what span I could make the beam, and how I could use it after I'm done with my initial job for the beam itself, which probably at this point I'm going to change over to 4-inch by 12-inch, even if I have to have it custom cut cocoa lumber, because this is just too much trouble. So anyway, Joy explained to me it could take 1 to 3 months to get the I-beam, 2 I-beams, 20 feet, 6 meters long. So it's just about 20 feet, just under 20 feet. She explained to me it could take 1 to 3 months, and that I'd have to come back after she gave me the price and pay in full for the I-beam and in full for the shipping. At which point, if I didn't get the I-beam in 3 months or 2 months or 1 month, then I would have to go into the office and ask for a refund. But there was no specific amount of time that they guarantee you they give you the refund. In other words, like, I did this once before with the same company. If they order something and that company orders it and you don't get it within 30 days, you have to wait for that company to either get the product and ship it from, in that case, Davao in Mindanao, or you have to wait for that company to say, we can't get the product, at which point Build-A-Ware will give you back your money the same day they'll give it back to you in cash. So that part of it's what it is. I mean, but who pays for everything up front in cash plus the delivery with a 1 to 3 month window for delivery and then no guarantee? But Build-A-Ware is fantastic for giving you back your money. I've had things that I ordered that they promised they could get. I waited 30 or 40 days. I don't remember what it was. I had ordered the lift to go up to the 4th floor so that I'd have a concrete lift, an automatic concrete lift with a dump bucket. And they said they could get it. I gave them money for it. And when they realized they couldn't get it, and again, it was because of the lockdown. It was not because of their contacts. They gave me back my money. But it's really hard to work here. In America, here's how the conversation would go. Frank, how you doing? It's Mike. Good morning, Michael. What can I do for you? Frank, I need a 4x6 1/4-inch web, 1/4-inch flange I-beam, 20 feet long. I need 2 of those, Frank. When do you want them, Michael? Can you get them for tomorrow? I'll call you back. Okay. Boom. Hang up the phone, and Frank calls back. Mike, we can have those for you on Thursday. Okay, Frank, thanks. Deliver them to this address. And that's it. I've talked to Frank for 3 minutes altogether. And when they get delivered, that just goes, well, it would go on my account. But so we're talking about 3 minutes. Because Frank owns the lumberyard. Frank's been my friend since I'm 17 and a half years old. Frank knows me, but Frank also knows the business. And in America, everything is available right away. Here, it's not. So that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. So Build-A-Ware also, again, the people are very courteous there, but they're not knowledgeable. So I asked, and I have one here. I have a huge spider wasp in here, about that big. Let me let him out. Okay, I know who he is. He comes every day. He actually looks in my ears for spiders. He knows who I am as well. Get out. So he will come and zoom around my ears. He knows my smell and everything, so he doesn't bother me. He's big though. He's about that big. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on over here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, so so that was one product that I wanted, that I spoke with Joy at the service counter, and we came to a conclusion of time, and no cost though. There's no price that she could give me, and that the reason they couldn't even give you a price was until they order the beam, until you pay for it that day. The price of steel is fluctuating. It's up 30% since last year. So even if you ordered it, which would have been Monday yesterday, they will not give you a price for it until you go into the office. And then there's an office in the back of Build-A-Ware that most people never see. It's for custom orders. Then there's a whole staff of people back there. Those people are pretty familiar with their jobs. They have, of course, I have an account there, but they have everything on record, my address, and I just when I do order something, they just say it's same address, blah blah blah, and they go from there. But even when you order the steel, they can't give you a price because they have to wait till you pay them that day, and that's the day that you get the price for the steel, because the steel fluctuates from day to day. So I guess that's understandable, but you normally just order something, give them 50% deposit, and you wait for it. But anyway, that's how it works. So then I want another product. Now here's what I wanted. Now I got to tell you, this is a freaking trip. I have raised many houses, and my personal love for raising houses are screw jacks because they don't collapse. They don't have a hydraulic O-ring or chevron seal in them that could blow out. So when you screw up a house with screw jacks, unless the cribbing fails, the screw jack, nothing falls. So if you have hydraulic jacks, you can have a blowout on an O-ring or a chevron seal, and you can get hurt really bad. Just the I-beam itself, when I used to raise houses, was 40 feet long with an 8-inch web and an 8-inch flange and 3 8-inch beam. So that'll kill you all by itself. But anyway, I told you I'm going to be moving my house, and I also have to move the containers. So I want a 10-ton floor jack, because the one I have, the chevron seal or an O-ring blew out. So I went to an automotive store that sells floor jacks. No, they sell jacks, bottle jacks. And I said to them, if I bring you in my 10-ton bottle jack, will you rebuild it? Because they have a repair shop on the premise, but they won't. Maybe there's a place in the hall, probably somewhere, somebody's got to do it, but there might not be a place. So I would have to take it apart, which I will, pull the seals out, either find the seal that's faulty or just replace the seals somehow, or just throw the jack out. That was the suggestion from the automotive store. The people in Build-A-Ware, they have no idea what to do with the old jack. They are, they're people they're aisle people. They don't know anything about 10-ton floor jack. So I said to one of the aisle men, I'd like to buy a bottle jack, 10 tons. Okay, so 10 tons is, in English and Visaya, that's reasonable for them to understand both in English. So we only have 3-ton jacks. Okay, may I see them? So he brings me over to what is called a jack stand. So those are the ones, it's like a quad pod. It comes like on a pyramid, and then you pick it up, and there's little teeth in it, not little teeth, like 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch teeth, and it dogs off the jack. Now that's a good thing when you're raising a house. You could use those. It's called a floor stand, or a car floor stand, where you just pick it up and it's got a ratchet in there, and the dog locks automatically. So I said, no, so those are floor stands. No, they're jacks. So now I'm looking around and I don't see a jack. But I said, no, I want a bottle jack. Yes, sir, that's a jack. So I put my glasses on. I knew what it looked like. I know what it is. It's a picture on the side of the box. I know what that looks like. I've been using them for 40 years. So I looked on the box, and in small print it says floor jack. They have different words here that mean different things. Some things that they say mean nothing, especially when it comes to construction tools. Okay, so it's a floor stand, but it's not a jack. But they call it a jack. So when I tell the guy it's not a jack is something you pump up. He points to the release lever on the jack. So I go, okay, all right. So is this the only jacks you have? Yes, sir. Okay. So I said, okay. So thank you very much. They were out of stock, or they don't sell a simple scissor jack, or I have you've seen my jacks that I have. I have bottle jacks. I have the under the car, the scissor jack that you pump it up. It's only a 2-ton one. it's enough to do what I want to do to move some small stuff, but not the big stuff. So I go to the automotive store, which is right outside Builder. I want a 10-ton bottle jack. First I said, good morning, Gleiss. And her and I have been friends for 5 years. So she said, good morning, Michael, how can I help you? So I said, I'd like to buy a 10-ton bottle jack. No. 3-ton and 5-ton. I said, okay, how much are the 5-ton bottle jacks? So she tells me 700 pesos. So, for a commercial grade bottle jack, that's way too cheap. I mean, it's not even, there's no way they could sell a jack for $14, a 5-ton bottle jack. Wait till you see this thing. It's a toy. It's not really a jack. I would never trust it for 5 tons. Jeez. You'd have to be out of your mind to trust this for 5 tons. So, look at this. Look at this. Look, this is it. This is it. This is a 5-ton floor jack in this box. And there's more box here than jack. So, talking about jack, where the hell is jack? So, this is a 5-ton floor jack. It's $14. Now, wait till you see it. It's closer to... I look at this kind of stuff. My 10-ton bottle jack was never enough. Was never enough to do my bigger jobs. I had a 30-ton bottle jack that I left in America. I put it up for sale. I might have sold it when I had it, because when you have heavy equipment, 10 tons is not a lot of weight. So here, this is the bottle jack. This is it. Okay, this is the handles that it comes with. This is 5 tons. You tell me that you would put 5 tons on this jack, and I'll tell you, you're insane. This little jack. Look, my hand is the same size as the piston. Now, go one step further and take the screw off the top. Now this is what they're saying is rated for 5 tons, because this part here on the jack is an adjustment. So you tell me that you would take this jack 5 tons and put 5 tons on this on this screw. You tell me you would put that screw up like that, take up the slack, and put 5 tons on basically a 1/2-inch piece of steel stock. I said to the lady, Gleiss, I said, Gleiss, do you have any real jacks? This is a real jack, Mike. And I'm going, well, I want one, but I only want one for the convenience of having a jack that I can pick up with, a 5-ton jack that I can move around with a finger. Okay? I can operate it's a finger jack. So you tell me, please leave. I really don't want to talk to anybody anyway. You know that, but you dice this out in your head. Would you put 5 tons on that piece of steel? Now there's a yes or a no there somewhere. And this was $14 less, and she gave me a discount. And then she charged me VAT tax, which made it $14. Okay, so I wouldn't put 5 tons on here. I personally will never extend this up more than a 1/2 an inch, and never put more than I don't know. I would be afraid to put a ton on this jack. Well, I wouldn't be afraid to put a ton on the jack. I'd be afraid to put a ton on the jack and then get underneath it, like if I was making a lift, which is not going to happen. I'm not going to. I'll wait for Joy to give me a price on the steel I talked about before, but I probably, look, it's like one of my little toys that fits up on the shelf. Okay, so that's the price. That's what they want for the, that's the price of the bottle jacks, $14. So now, the next tool I want. The next tool I want was hold on. The next tool I wanted was an electrical meter. I'm doing a lot of well, my high-end ohm meter, electrical meter, resistance meter, impedance meter from the 1970s took a crap. It was a Simpson meter, and it just doesn't work anymore. So I wanted another one that does impedance, ohms, amperage, voltage, and also with the pins on the end of the testing pin. I don't know what you call them. You have electrodes or testing electrodes, and they at the end they come to a pinhead or very sharp. I wanted those because if I'm going to do anything on the jet ski, I need one of those. So I went to Build-A-Bear. They have little ones about this big for $10, or some of them are only $6. But that's not what I want. Then I went to City Hardware, and City Hardware doesn't have a good electrical tester. Then I went to ICM Mall to buy shorts, but they no longer have Dickies. Dickies pants sale. The shorts that I wear are no longer in all Dickies stores. Well, 2 stores in Bahal that had Dickies, they are out of business. Fubu looks like it's going to go out of business next. So I went to the Fix Right. Yeah, this one here. Fix Right hardware store. Fix Right hardware store. And I bought a bunch of electrical fittings. I showed them to you the other day. The prices of those standard within 5%. They have the meter. Now I'll show you the meter online, and what I've been doing when I'm not working outside. Like it's raining pretty hard all day today. I've been making some small extension cords with, of course, the masking tape method. And this is like I think it's 14 gauge. It'll take any tool I have. And also I bought some of these for the, although I'm not going to use these, I bought a couple of these. They're cheap enough. They're like for this thing, they're $1.50 for a 4-way plug. $89.90 would be $1.80. This is $1.80, and this one fits the round plugs and a regular plug. And this one was $1.50. 74 pesos is $1.50, and this one has 4 plugs. So for $1.50, I bought just a bunch of wire and been putting that stuff, just oddball sizes together. I know about what I want, and because it's been raining a lot, and at night when I'm watching videos, I'll make some wires up. So let me show you Let me show you now the disparity. The disparity in the cost of a single tool is this UT. I think it's a UT 206. I got it. Hold on now. UT 206 Alpha. Oh, I should go back to steel. So when you look up purchase steel I-beams, behold. Now, there's only a few stores that sell metal roofing, the corrugated metal roofing, and I know where all of those stores are because I've been to all of them. From at one point or another, I've been to every corrugated metal shop. Became friends with a man that has a shop if I ever wanted corrugated metal, but I've been to other ones before I got to him, and I only became friends with him because I needed some metal bent for me, some sheet metal, and he has a 12-foot break. So I went to his shop, and he charged me next to nothing. I mean, that's what they charge here, next to nothing. So I go back to him when I want metal products made. So let me show you what they consider. Let me show you what they consider. Where's this thing? What they consider a metal. Now this, when I Googled I-beams for sale, I-beams for sale, this is what came up. And they don't sell I-beams. They sell flat sheet metal in different colors. They sell corrugated roof profiles, they call them. And then they sell shiny aluminum products, corrugated metal. Now, I get a kick out of that, too, because I remember when a piece of corrugated roof metal, first of all, I don't know what the gauge was, but if I said it was 18 gauge corrugated roof metal, galvanized roof steel, like 18 gauge. It was heavy, and it was always in 2-foot by 8-foot sheets. But this stuff that they have nowadays, I don't know how much those sheets weighed. They might have weighed 20 pounds, a corrugated sheet, steel sheet, metal, galvanized roof panel. Then they had aluminum ones that were about 12 pounds, I guess. They went the way of the wind as soon as aluminum prices went up in the 70s. If you didn't live in the house that the metal was on, somebody would scalp your roof. So this stuff that they have nowadays, I don't know how to describe how thin it is. It's not much thinner. It's not much thicker than the metal that the metal preserved that you get a pill in here. It's not much thicker than this pill stuff here. You can literally bend it with your finger like that. The new corrugated metal, you can literally bend it with 2 fingers. It's not. That's how thin it is. You could never walk on it. It'll keep the sun off of you, but that's it. So now let's talk about. So there is no other place in Bohol that I've called that has answered the phone that sells I-beams. This place is the biggest, first one that pops up. I know the man. He doesn't sell I-beams. He doesn't even want to give me a price for an I-beam because he knows how hard it is to get an I-beam. So, and that's okay because at least he's honest. But let me show you the tool, the disparity in the tool. Okay, let's get to this. Let's go to Lazada, which is not. I have found Lazada to be very unreliable. Very unreliable. Out of the 19 orders that I made on Lazada this year, December till now, I got 8 Well, I got 9 because 2 of them were the same thing, the welding cables. I got 8 orders out of 19. And I'm going to tell you again, Lazada demands that you're there between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. from February 3rd till February 11th. That you're there to pick up your order. So for 9 days or 8 days, you have to be there from 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. Because here's what happens if you're not there. It just happened to me. They gave me a delivery date for the Oppo 5G phone. They didn't deliver it on that date. So for that week I was home. And then they gave me another delivery date, and they never delivered it, and I was home every day then. Then they gave me a third delivery date, and on the day that it was the last day, like the 18th, this is Lazada. It's garbage. It's garbage when it comes to delivery dates and time frames and schedules. Well, on the last day, like the 18th, it will be there by 10 o'clock at night. At 5 o'clock at night, they send me a message saying, your phone could not be delivered because the shipping wrapping or the shipping box that it was in, basically the folder comes in an envelope, was damaged. So they sent it back, which is bullshit. Okay, so for 15 days, I waited home for my phone. So then I reordered a different phone. And they never sent that phone. So then I reordered another phone. Something 50, whatever it was, the Huawei 50 was supposed to be a good phone. That phone didn't come the first section, didn't come the second notification segment, and on the third notification segment, it was like the last day that it was supposed to come. I wasn't there. I mean, how many freaking days can you stay home? So they called me up, and I was down the block. So I came home, and I said, look, to the driver, you know what? I have 7 days to return the phone, right? Yes. It took you 3 months to get me a phone. How long would it take for you to pick the phone up? So once you call them up and tell them the phone is no good before 7 days, you're in warranty time. Well, it could be a week to 2 weeks up. And then how long would it take to get the phone back to China? Or that could take a few months. And then a few months back. So theoretically, I could have no phone and have spent, I don't know what it was, 60,000 pesos, $1,200 for no phone for 4 months. So the man, he told me it could take 3 or 4 months. So I canceled the order. And that's reasonable, right? I mean, why would I, if it took 3 months to get here, a phone to get here, it could take 3 months to send it out for warranty. What if it came back and had to be sent out again for warranty? So for 6 months, I wouldn't have a phone, but I'd be out $1,200. So to the driver, I decided to not take the phone. Oh, Lazada punished me. They punished me. Not that I care. I haven't ordered another thing from them. I found another company. But it used to be COD. So they would tell you, you have this much money for the welding cables, which, whatever, was 6,000 pesos. And you put 6,000 pesos in a paper clip, in an envelope, whatever. And when the guy comes, you hand them the exact change. They don't give you change. And they're not going to go to the store with you to get change. If you don't have exact change, it's like you weren't home. And they just cancel. They take the order back to the warehouse and they send it back to the company. Who does this? So Lazada is, in my opinion, garbage for their delivery service. The product is the product. Okay, so let's go to this product here on Lazada. You want to talk about a disparity in the cost of an item? Look at this item here. It's I think this is it. Yeah, this is the UT 206. Yeah, there it is. UT. This is the UT 205. Oh, this isn't even the. Oh no, okay. The UT 205 Alpha and the UT 206 Professional Auto Range. What the heck? What the heck? Which one is it? The 205 Alpha or the 206 Alpha? That makes no difference. This is Lazada. This is their price. It was last week when I looked at it. It was 5,800 pesos, which in today's world is $125 to $130 because the value of the dollar has gone down. But let's just say it was 6,000 pesos, and it's $120 for the UT 206A Alpha. Okay, now this gauge here, this does all those things: impedance, resistance, ohms, amperage, and of course voltage, AC and DC. Now let's go here. You want to talk about a disparity, but I have two more of these. The disparity here is this one here is from Shopee. From Shopee, it's 2,351 pesos. And this is the 2006, which is the newer version. So Shopee has it for 2,300 pesos, and Lazada has it for 4,600. So it's half. At Shopee is half the price. Half the price. Half the price. So of course I'm going to buy it from Shopee. Now here's something that so the disparity in the prices between Shopee and Lazada, it's ridiculous. It's exactly half the price from Shopee as it is from Lazada. And Lazada, I don't know, I've never seen anybody with such a bad delivery service. Now you really want to get sick, try to buy that tool in Behold. So eventually I went to every store, because that's the tool I want. And finally I went to Fix Right hardware store. Hold on a second. Fix Right hardware store has the tool up again at 5,600 pesos. So 5,000 pesos is about, now it's about $105, and 600 pesos is 12, so 12, it's about $117, as opposed to under $50 at Shopee. So basically it's 60% less on Shopee. Now of course Shopee doesn't have a store, but it's 60% more because they have a store. Now the last tool that I want to talk about is this tool here. I think I have it up on the screen. Yeah. Okay. Oh, did I drop that? I think I closed out that. All right, so I closed out the tab. Anyway, you know those guns? I have one here somewhere. Okay. This is a tool I bought in 2001. It's a Rayvac. We call it a thermal imaging scanner. So this is the model. Now this is from 2001. This was white. The plastic was white. Now it's yellow, which is okay, but it doesn't work anymore. And how this works is there's a piece of quasi radioactive material, same type of radioactive material that's in a smoke detector. I think that's how it works. And I paid almost $100 for this in 2001, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but it doesn't work anymore. So I wanted one of these. I went to every automotive store in Bohol. Now you can shoot this. It shoots a red beam at a car block, and if the car block is 470 degrees, which is closer to the exhaust manifold than on a water jacket. On a water jacket, it'd be about 230, 235. So if you can test the temperature, what you use this for is you shoot the engine block on the end, okay, on a bolt, let's say, on a bolt of the head, a head bolt. And on the head bolt, it'll read 285 degrees, 285. Then you shoot the next bolt. It should be 285. If the water is circulating through the engine block properly, all the pistons, all the head bolts should be the same temperature within a few degrees. And then you go across the top of the head bolts. And if they're all 285, well, then you know your piston atomization, spark, water flow is good. Now, if you shoot the water jacket and you see one that's a little bit hotter than the others, could be an impedance of the flow of the water. But with this will tell you that. This tool will tell you that there might be rust in the water jacket, number 1 or number 7 or 8 or 3 or whatever. You can also shoot anything. You could shoot the temperature of your oven to make sure your oven temperature is right. So this is a handy tool to have. I want to use it to show the people that I work outside, or when I'm working outside, what the temperature on the roof is and what the temperature could be, because the temperature in the Philippines could go up to 165 degrees on a tire of a car. So if the sun is, or a motorcycle, if the sun is directly overhead, 1, 2, 3 o'clock like that, and it's the summer sun and there's no cloud coverage, the temperature of your car tire could go up to 167 degrees. In Florida, 160 to 167 at noon in August was normal. So that's what I wanted it for, just more or less a joke. Well, I mean, more or less to show people what the temperature could be. But also, you can test air conditioning out with it. Like this air conditioner blows air at 68 degrees, which is 68 degrees. It's enough to cool you off. Some air conditioners will go down to 64, 63, 62, like that. But this one is will blow at 60, 68 coming out of the vent. But if you stick it inside the vent where the air originates from, you might see a temperature as low as 65, 66 degrees. Because this used to work, but now it doesn't work. So I wanted another one of these infrared temperature sensors. So I went to all the automotive stores, all the hardware stores, all. They sell something that looks like this, the one that you put the temperature of. It only reads the temperature of your forehead or your wrist. It only has a 9 degree range. The one that I want for the automotive goes from minus 50 degrees Celsius to 2,200 degrees Celsius. I don't know when you would use that if you were casting metal, dies, steel, making ingots out of brass or copper or something like that. I'll never, my temperature ranges are probably from 50 degrees to see. You could test the inside of your refrigerator with this. So I paid $100 for this, and now This product is, I can't believe I forgot the cost of it. Let me see if I can get that up on the screen. This product is, let me get my history up here. Let's see if I can find that that page. Shouldn't be too far off. I'm looking for it. Ike's plan. Oh man. Okay, infrared. I guess I could look up infrared temperature sensor. TEMPERATURE. Temperature sensors. That doesn't compute. Temperature sensors. I don't know that I'm going to get it up, but either way, it wasn't very expensive. Find hotspots, order online, maximum. I think this is it. Okay, I'll tell you, it wasn't $100 though. It was a lot cheaper here now because they've. Well, that's not it. I don't know. It might have been $40. I think it was $40. So anyway, that's the difference. And all. Let's see, maybe shopping has it. Anyway, that's if you're going to buy stuff. Now you also, when I went looking for the steel, I mean, I went to 3 physical brick and mortar stores. I called up countless times to different numbers that say they sell steel I-beams. No one answers the phone. The phone number is incorrect. The phone number has been canceled out. The phone number doesn't exist anymore. Or no one answers the phone. Or the phone is busy because they took it off the hook. So, buying stuff in the Philippines for construction is really hard. Now, one more thing I'd like to talk about is that the price of the steel itself is up 30% from last year. 30%. 30%. For 2x2 square tubing, because when I start building the forms to do the concrete columns for the hotel, I don't like any method that they have here. Nothing at all. Well, I do. I like one method of building the concrete columns that the Chinese man up the block built his hotel. There was a kind of clamp that you put on the box of the vertical box, and you just put the clamp on it, suck it up. It's like a quick clamp. Hit it with a hammer that locks it, and you're done. You're talking about 30 seconds to put a clamp on a vertical column or a beam box, and it's locked. And the harder that the cement pushes against the clamp, the tighter the clamp gets. The tighter of a bite the clamp takes on the vertical column. Those were nice. He won't sell them to me, even though he's not building anything right now because the construction is at an all-time low. He is building 2 more hotels in Alona Beach, but he's not using the clamps, but he won't loan me 50 clamps, and he won't sell them at all. And no one in the Philippines can get them, and they're nowhere online. And wherever he got them from in China, I guess they don't sell them online, or they won't deliver them. But He brought a cargo container, 40-foot cargo container, full of equipment from China to build the hotels in the Philippines. He brought his own rebar, he brought his own clamps, he brought his own plywood, he brought his own rebar bending tools, rebar cutters, he brought his own welder, he brought everything from China. He had, to my knowledge, 3 cargo containers came all at the same time. And they were all, and that was just constructed. He actually brought 2 elevators from China, because what they call a lift here in the Philippines is 1,000 pounds, 1,200 pounds. Man lift, 1,200 pounds. The lifts that he brought from China lift 2 tons. You can throw 2 tons of concrete, which is 4,000 pounds. So it's 4 times the lifting capacity, 3 or 4 times the area, and these are solid. And the framework for the lifts from China is a real lift. It's a real man lift. It's the kind of thing that you'd use on a skyscraper in a big city in America, China, America. So that guy won't lend me the clamps, and he won't sell me the clamps, and I have no other options. So I went looking for options. I've been going to construction sites and chit-chatting with the men, and they allow me to take most of the men in this area here of Panglao, even in the city. They see me walking down the block. I always stop to say hello to them. They let me go on the job site to take a couple of pictures of how they put their forms together and lock them together. So a lot of guys just use wood, which is ridiculous. That's like ancient technology. They put the forms together with a wood batten in the back of it, and then they put 2x4s, 2 this way and 2 this way, and they swear that those big screws they have are going to hold it together, and they do, but talking about like animalistic type construction. You're not talking about modern day mythologies. And that's what they have here in the Philippines. When they built the building next door, I don't know. They were using 2x2s and nailing the 2x2s around the vertical beam column boxes. And I said, this was a new crew for the 3rd and the 4th floor. A new crew came on. This 1st and 2nd floor was done before I moved into the building, but afterwards. So I told the foreman, I said, that's not going to hold. Oh yeah, it's going to hold. What do you know about concrete? I says, I know that form is going to blow out. And yeah. And they sloughed me off like I wasn't important. So the concrete truck, first of all, they don't know these guys didn't know what the hell they were doing. So they brought a concrete truck. What a freaking mess they made. Okay, so when you get a concrete pump truck, and this was a real one, this was not one of those little toys that go up 2 stories. This one would go up, well, I saw this truck on the Chinese job, and that's 4 stories, and the stinger went above the 4 stories to the columns. So it went up 5 stories. It went up 80 feet. The boom went up like 85 feet, and then the sting is 20 feet long to drop it in with the rubber hose on it. Anyway, so the guy, I don't know where they learned how to pour concrete. I have no idea. These people here have no understanding of concrete. So the boom truck comes. Now the first thing that you have to do with a boom truck with a stinger on it is you got to get the inside of the hose wet. Especially on the hottest day of the year in August. Here it's May, April and May. So they bring the concrete truck here. And the round rubber hoses, solid, rigid rubber hoses that they had, were like as hot as they could be. They don't get any hotter than that. So you're supposed to run, you fill up the hopper, the concrete hopper, with water, and maybe a little teeny bit of slurry if you want, but just to keep the water from being water, just make it a little bit of concrete slurry. And they were using 1/4-inch stone. So they were using the right size stone, but the mix was like soup. It was soup. So they filled up the hopper, not with water. They filled up the hopper with the mud. And before they made it soupy, it was a little bit more stiff. And they put it into the hopper. The cement truck backed up, put it in the hopper, put his chute in the hopper, and it had to go up to in this case, the 3rd floor. Before it got to the 3rd floor, I don't know why. I have no idea. I was only watching. The guy at the pump shut the pump off. You can't do that. Once you start that machine to pump. Don't stop pumping. Even if you got to pump it into a dirt ditch, you don't stop pumping, especially when the tubes are hot like that. So he stopped pumping. And I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 minutes passed, and I'm thinking to myself, that stuff is already as hard as a rock. Well, it was. So when he went to pump again, the pump was just bypassing itself. So the cement truck with the cement in it had to go away. Because now the hoses to go up on the boom and the swings on the boom, all the concrete was solid. And they had to take it all apart, the boom truck right there, and they beat it with a hammer, sledgehammer. And eventually they rolled back and forth over the rubber hoses, and it broke up the concrete mix inside the hoses, and then they picked the hoses up and knocked the concrete out of it. And about 4 hours later, another cement truck came. I don't know what they did with the first load of cement. So they didn't make that same mistake the second time. They made they didn't run water through it either a second time. They don't know what they're doing. They just don't know. This is like the first time anybody ever did. I don't know. So they sent another cement truck, and they filled it, but they made the slurry. There was no slope to it at all. It was pancake material. Then they put it up into the first column that I told the guy it's going to blow out. And he didn't drop the stinger down into the column box. That's why they have a stinger on the column box, so you could drop the stinger into the box. Well, you don't want to drop concrete from 15 feet high. It's a lot of weight and a lot of materials coming out of that 3.5 or 4 inch hose. And I'm looking at the pump, and I'm going, that box is going to blow. And it blew apart. It blew apart. The whole bottom just went like that. So that was the end of that column. So now they have to stop the truck to reinforce the other columns that they did the same way. What did they reinforce it with? I don't know. Somebody had a few hundred feet of rope. All of this could have been avoided if he listened to me tell him it wasn't going to work. And the guy with the stinger and the guy on the roof with the, it's all automatic. It's all radio control. If the foreman would have told them, don't put the stinger down to the bottom of the column box, put the stinger down into the bottom, then you turn it on and you pick the stinger up so the concrete's not coming out of there going boom, 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 boom against, but nobody knew what they were doing. So at the end of the job, So they put rope. You had a mad dash to tie rope around the bottom of the column boxes. 2 guys were doing rope, and 2 guys were nailing extra 2x2s in place. So at the end of the day, they had a nobody's going to believe me. I'm going to tell you anyway. At the end of the day, normally you'd leave a half a yard or a yard of concrete up on the roof, on the deck somewhere, in case you got to add concrete, fill something in, whatever. Well, they did that, and then they had they did that, and they still had another yard or so of concrete in the truck. So the guy in the cement truck, he adds water, flush out water to it. And then the chute is still in the hopper. And now he flushes out, he washes off the external guts of the chute and the hopper and stuff like that. And he puts that water, that water, basically it's just water, he puts it in the hopper. And the stuff that was in the hose, the material that was still in the hose from them dropping the viable material into a 1 yard here and a half a yard over there, it started to get hard. So now the whole hopper, it's about a yard in the hopper. This is a big truck, probably more than a cubic meter of water. The whole hopper was full of water, but the water was what they call hydraulic block. The concrete was getting hard. So what did the guy do? He revved up the engine maximum, and he still has the stinger on the roof. And within, I don't know, a few seconds, 20 seconds, it blew through the hose. And I'm up on the roof watching this. And the mud came out first, and then a cubic meter of water came out. And the roof was, we were pouring columns, we weren't pouring beam boxes. The roof was on an angle towards the front of the building, so that if the water ever got into the building, at that point when they were working on it, the water would at least go out towards to the roof deck. Well, that cubic meter of water, and plus whatever came out of the hose, hit the deck at full force, and they sprayed concrete water, slurry, all over the entire floor, and that dripped down all over the doors on the second floor, sliding glass doors, windows, whatever, and the rooftop on the second floor, which took like a couple of men the entire day to clean up. Instead of taking the stinger down from the roof and putting it on the ground somewhere. Oh yeah, I forgot one thing. They put it in the roof and it all blew all over the place. When the first cement truck left, the hopper had about maybe it was a little bit more than a cubic meter, but they had about a cubic meter plus in the hopper. When the pipes froze up, when the pipes locked up, they had about a cubic meter of cement in the hopper. And then when the cement truck left, because there's it was just going to get hard in the truck, they weren't going to fix this problem right away. When the cement truck left, there's a dump chute on the bottom of the hopper. They just dumped the chute. They just dumped it out. You could dump water, you could dump rock, you could dump viable material, and they just dumped it right out onto the grass on the ground, and it was about a 8 to 10 inches high and 10 or 12 feet wide and round, and they never moved the truck from that spot, so that got hard as a rock. Nobody cleaned that up that day. Nobody cleaned it up the next day. Nobody cleaned it up the next week. A few weeks later, they came in with jackhammers, a couple of men, and spent like 2 days jackhammering that stuff up off the grass. I'm gonna see if any of my friends are here, and then I'm gonna probably go do something else. Ah! Plywood says, massive new construction, restaurants. That was a long time ago. That was an hour ago. Sorry, Flywoods. I didn't see it. Didn't show up the comment. Well, that might be so, but not here. It's not like that here. There's construction on just about every block, in the city, and but they're all big name things like the Alturas Mall. Not the Alturas Mall, the ICM Mall. They have a huge 3rd and 4th floor. It looks like that they're going up. But the buildings that are being built, there's just, compared to what there was, maybe 15 or 20% of what was going on is going on now. There is construction, and don't get me wrong. I mean, there are people that haven't stopped building, but they realize these are very deep pockets. These are people that realize that to get their money back, which they're never going to get back because the economy is just not coming back. But they have this investment that they have to continue to invest their money in. They can't stop. A lot of buildings did stop or never started. But there's so many construction projects where the land is cleared now, and now it's just 1 year of vegetation growth and nothing, no construction, no materials, no nothing. Now the government jobs are still going, like they're building the bridge from Tagbilaran City to Bahal. That bridge job is still going on. The repair of the septic and water lines, that's still going on. But building, I don't see it even as 15%. And I don't know exactly what it is. I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to continue building. So getting back to the way that they build these concrete column forms. To build it out of wood and then to put wood strapping around the outside, that's barbaric. Putting screws in wood, taking screws out of wood. One guy I saw use bolts. It was my idea to use the bolts, but because he was using wood and then he was using 3-inch drywall screws, and I said to him, dude, why don't you use, I can't find bolts. So I told him there's a bolt company here in Bahal. I won't tell you where it is, but there's a bolt company here in Bahal that sells bolts, every size hardware, every size bolt, every size nut, and it's local. But I mean, it doesn't advertise. If you Google bolts, if you don't know where the store is, you won't find the bolt. So I told him where it was, and he went out and bought a couple of hundred bolts, and then he bolted his stuff together. But it's still barbaric. These guys are working with crescent wrenches and bolts and washers. I can't find the clamps I want, and I can't find... Oh, so the other option is to use wood frame and the scaffold pipe with the swivel, the swivels that hold them, 2-directional swivels, around the frames, around the 4 sides. I don't like that. I'm gonna design my own forms that are going to be neat and clean, and they're not going to leak. A lot of people's forms, they leak at the bottom. My forms won't leak, guaranteed. And it'll be a quick disassembly and assembly. So I'm going to redesign, I'm going to design a way to put the concrete in the columns, build the column boxes, put them together after I build them, put them together and then lock it up. I will be using 1 1/4 inch scaffold piping and the clamps to hold it together, but there will be no wood, no 2x4s, no 2x2s, no double backing on the back of plywood that bends, none of that crap. So I went yesterday and found the size of the material I need to build my own form. So when I do that, you'll see it, not before, and I won't even explain to you how I'm going to do it. So that's pretty much my show for today. I do have a show coming up. I need to find out a piece of information. I call the person up for a specific piece of information that's vital for one of my upcoming shows, and I wasn't able to find the information out as fast as I wanted. It could be a few more days, but by Sunday I'm going to have a show. I'm going to have a good show. We're going to go back. We're going to go back in time. We're going to do to everyone else what everyone else is trying to do to me. And with links and pictures and graphs and things like that. And to the people that have been lying about certain things, you're going to regret those lies. I promise. You're going to regret those. And if I find out that what you lied about was an outright blatant lie, you'll even regret it more. It's going to happen. Don't worry about that. You got these, you know what you got here on YouTube? Let's just talk about these shitheelers on YouTube. You got guys that all they really want to do is see their name in the comments. You got guys with accounts from 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13 that have 20 subscribers, have never posted a video. They don't have a playlist. They don't have any liked videos. They have no one, but they want to see their name on other people's channels. You have other people that are borderline pedophiles giving money to bloggers that are using the money that's being given to them to hire prostitutes to have sex with. And these are the people that other people are backing up. He's a good guy because he makes $6,500 a month. He must be right. He must be doing... No. He's immoral. And to prove it to you, will you, as a person, let your child, daughter, sister, granddaughter go out with that man? Probably not. But he's a wonderful guy because your name goes up into his comment section. Oh yeah, we have a good show coming up. I need to find out a few pieces of information. We're going to talk about alcoholics. We're going to talk about liars. I'm going to show you proofs that people are lying. I really want to get... I really want to do this with at least 5 or 6 different videos that I can produce to show you how deceptive and angry these people are, because I blocked them. I blocked them because they're a bunch of cowards. You're supposed to be... You're on my channel for how many years? You're a good guy, and I love your video. And then you're on another channel where everybody's abusing me. Comments before yours, comments, you make a comment, comments after, people abusing me before, during, and after your comments, and you remain silent. You're not my friend. You're just some stupid, worthless, useless commenter, because most of you don't even have any videos up, or worthless blogger. with very, very, no real content. You have no content. You might have a playlist of dogs or hamburgers, the best hamburger in Brazil. So you people are really the dregs of society, and you think I'm going to allow you to abuse me? No, I'm not going to do that. I saw a comment, everybody's against Fazio. And the same people that everybody's against Fazio are giving money to a quasi, not pedophile, but pervert, certainly immoral, and certainly perverse. You're giving money to a guy to hire prostitutes. That's cool. That's cool for you, because your name is up there. You give money to him. And you want to do what you want with your money, that's up to you. But then you go on and you ridicule me and give money to a freaking pervert. Would you let would you people let your daughter go out with that guy? Would you let your niece go out with that guy? Would you let your no, you would not. But you'll still give him money to hire a prostitute in Thailand. You people are in for a rude awakening when I do this show. I promise. Okay, let me look at, I didn't really make a lot of notes, but I might have something else I want to talk about as far as tools are concerned. Tools. One more tool I'll talk about. The automatic rebar tire, right? Automatic rebar tire. It's an electric motor inside a huge, it looks like a gun, but it's got an electric motor in it. It spools out wire around rebar and then tightens it up and then puts a twist on the wire. Do you have any idea how many people sell those but don't sell them? It's amazing. You will go on Lazada and you'll go to the rebar tire. There's one from 8 to 32 millimeters. There's one from 8 to 34 millimeters. There is one that's 8 to 32, and then you change the nose cone on it, and then it's from 32 to 60. That's $800 for that gun. Go try to order that. Discontinued model, but they still advertise it. Then the one that's 8 to 32, that comes with 5 spools of wire, which are $1,000. They're $20 a roll. I got a bag. I ordered one. I ordered the gun, $600. It's supposed to come with 5 rolls of wire. So I ordered 5 rolls of wire separate, 5,000 pesos. So 1,000 pesos per spool, and it's supposed to come with 5 rolls. So I ordered the rebar tire, and yeah, that's because I'm not building a hotel. You guys are in for a rude awakening. Wait till I do my show. There's going to be names, there's going to be links, and there's going to be either I'm going to admit that someone lied about something, or I'm going to prove you wrong. You should hope I don't get proof. So I ordered a gun with the 5 rolls, and I ordered 5 extra spools from the same company, and they send me the 5 extra spools. They charged me 6,113 pesos with the shipping, and they don't send the gun. And they re-notified me that the gun will be available in 3 more weeks. So I waited 3 weeks, and they didn't ship the gun. So then you go to that manufacturer's website, and you look at the reviews. Anybody that received the gun but never received any wire. 5 rolls of wire, which is $100 that you're paying for in the price of the gun that you don't get. That's one problem. Second problem is you go to order it and it's out of stock. discontinued model. You go to order it and you want to order an extra battery for the gun, for the wire tire. No batteries are available. So why would you buy a $600 rebar tying machine if there isn't a spare battery available? Not because you need the spare battery, but what happens if you drop the first battery? You don't have to worry about running out of energy. Not me by myself, but what happens if you need an extra battery? You buy the gun, but no other batteries are available, and you drop the battery. Well, the battery just takes a crap on you. You're out $600, $800 in some cases. The gun is available only this, that, and the other thing, and then when you order it, out of stock. It's a joke. I don't know why. So now you can order these things from Amazon, but they won't ship it to the Philippines. So it says, when you order something from Amazon, it says this item does not ship to the Philippines. So what you have to do is buy the item, send it to a shipper that ships to the Philippines, and pay about an additional $100 to get it here in 12 weeks. So that item, I'm going to get one, but I don't know when. Still can't go to Manila to get the rebar bender because of the rules that they still have in effect. It's a nightmare ordering stuff here. So with that, thanks for not commenting. And you guys that have been abusing me all week, I'm gonna give it back to you in spades. I promise. And and there is one thing that you should understand. I'm on YouTube for 10 years. Although people are now, they're calling me a liar, they're calling me a drunk, they're calling me a scammer, the biggest scammer on YouTube. I'm trying to scam somebody for $200,000. I've never lied. I've never been caught in a lie on YouTube. I've never lied to you people. So I have an impeccable background of not lying to you. If I choose not to give you information for a specific reason, that's not the same as a lie. I may choose not to talk about somebody. That's my prerogative. And if that person wants to talk about me, that's their prerogative. But it may not be true. And still I may choose not to talk about a person. Because that's just not the type of guy I am. But there is a bitch boy out there who I had an argument with, who couldn't wait to publicize the fact that him and I had an argument all over the internet. I have a surprise coming for you, dude. Don't worry about it. It'll come. It's in the form of a video, rebuttaling. You are intellectually, I think your IQ is closer to 42 than 45. I'm not even being facetious. There's something mentally wrong with you. And I'm really being serious. There's something so problematic the way your brain works or doesn't work, that you can't see the forest through the trees, and you keep making these wild accusations against me that you can't prove and are not true. And I can prove that they're not true. And yet you'll say that they are true even when I prove they're not true. And I'll prove they're not true. Something wrong with you that you don't get it. That you think I'm going to allow you, someone with an IQ that's closer to 42 than 45, that you think I'm going to allow you to abuse me because 10 people agree with you? 10 people with nothing on their channel? Go Bobo Sister agrees with you. Somebody who has no content at all. Someone who's been trolling people for 4 or 5 years that I know of. That person backs you up, and all of a sudden you become a viable avenue for information. The hemorrhoid backs you up. 25901 backs you up. Another worthless channel. Had a channel, what, 8 years or 13 years? You don't have any content. You're all over the place with comments, good and bad, about people. You forget what you wrote. Are you drunk? Are you high? Are you on psychosomatics? Well, we'll delve into this in my video where I'm going to put the names of the people that I'm going to talk about, well, close to it. And you people are really, there's an amazing amount of ignorance that appears on YouTube. What is wrong with you that you could make up this, you pull this crap out of your rectum and speak it as if it's the truth. You can't prove a single word of what you say, but you have 6 more worthless troll accounts that agree with you, and you think that you have the upper hand. You don't have the upper hand, dude. Because you can't prove a single word of what you say. And the threats, that I like the best. Boy, that internet tough guy shit, that works really well for you, doesn't it? It's an amazing thing. You people are amazing. So, digressing back, I'm going to prove item for item that the bitch boy who couldn't take that I disassociated myself from him, and had this bitch boy not decided to air his dirty laundry or our dirty laundry all over the internet within hours of us having an argument, no one in the world would know, because I would have never mentioned it. But now, video after video, comment after comment, post after post is about me, and you can't prove a word of it. I'm going to embarrass you. I promise. I promise that I'm going to embarrass you. So if you haven't figured it out who you are, well, you know who you are. I'm going to embarrass you when I prove to you that everything that you said is a lie. And then you'll have, of course, Go Bobo Sister backing you up, and the Hemorrhoid backing you up, and whatever other channels that they have with channel names. And I'm going to tell you one more thing to this ignorant, closer to 42 IQ than 45. I have 3 channels. Listen very carefully to me. I have 3 channels. Hoodwinked by an Angel, which once or twice a week I might make a comment. Today I made a comment. What was it? It was a... No, I pushed the thumbs up. I pushed the thumbs up on a video that was about a surfing video. I liked the comment. That was my big comment this week on Hood. And I made 1 or 2 comments on my videos on Hoodwink. So I have that channel, and I have the Alpha Male channel. And everything I've ever done in my life proves beyond any doubt I am an alpha male by definition. And everything that I've ever seen you do proves that you're not an alpha male. I won't tell you what I think you are, but I might. And then I have a 3rd channel for assholes like you that blocked me so I can't see your comments on other people's channels. So immediately after I had an argument with a guy, he had to advertise it all over the internet, but first he blocked me so I couldn't see his comments. So I just happened to be at a live stream a few hours later, and I hear, oh, thanks for stopping by, such and such, thanks for stopping by. And I'm going to myself, well, I can't see him. Well, he blocked me. He blocked me so I couldn't see his comments because he's a coward. Well, I mean, it's okay to block people. I mean, I like that idea. But he blocked me so I couldn't see his comments. And then he's abusing me comment after comment after comment after comment. And then he gives this pervert, quasi-possible pedophile in Thailand money So that the guy in Thailand, this quasi-possible pedophile pervert in Thailand, that he could date a prostitute. And he's abusing me. I'm not going to let that fly. I just want you to know. I'm going to come down on you hard, and I'm going to come down on you with facts. And you're going to make you look like an asshole. But that's what you are. Yeah, I'm not going to let you guys do this shit. I hear this 25901. Everybody's against fire. I don't care how many people are against me. I don't care if only 5 people are my friends that watch my videos. I don't care about that. I do this because I have fun doing it. And as far as 25901, everybody, I don't care if everybody's, I don't care. What I care about is that you people are lying, and I'll just go on to prove you wrong. And this guy 25901, what has he ever done except comment? And he's all over the place with his comment. He sees people abusing me. He's supposed to be my friend. I even gave the asshole a wrench to show him that I had some sort of camaraderie with him, because he's always commending me for my videos. And what does this piece of garbage do? He allows people to abuse me before his comment. He makes a comment, allows people to abuse me after his comment. And what will his retort be? Well, I was on and off and I didn't say. You're a lying piece of garbage. 25901. You're a lying piece of garbage. You saw the comment, you know where they came from, and then he goes, well, I don't even know what I did. That seems to be the common denominator between you pieces of crap. When you decide that you don't want to take responsibility, you say, well, I wasn't in the chat box the whole time. You're a liar. You made a comment, he made a comment, you made a comment, he made a comment, all within 45 seconds. What are you doing in the chat box if you're not reading the chat? You people are a bunch of demented liars. And when I prove you wrong by multiple different ways, or right, and if I'm wrong, I'll tell you that you were right about what was said, but what was said was a lie. If you are right about what was said by another blogger, and I find out that they said that, I'll say, well, okay, yeah, they said that, but that doesn't make it true. Just because someone says something doesn't mean it's true. You walk up and down this block and you ask people about me, you're going to get a completely different opinion than what you assholes on YouTube say about me. Just because you say it doesn't mean it's true, especially if your IQ is closer to 42 than 45. And that you have proven beyond any doubt. You have proven that you can't do research. You have proven that you don't know what you're talking about. You have proven that you're an angry man, an underachiever, and I'll go into the more in-depth intricacies of your worthless life when I get all my ducks in order for my live stream. And I hope to have that done by Sunday. I'm not going to let it drop. I won't do that. And I'll do everything I can to make people understand. Now, if you still, after I show you proofs of this, that, and the other thing, if you still continue, well, then just because you're stupid, not because I can't prove that I can prove certain things are absolutely true, unequivocally with videos, and still that I did that, I'm a fraud. I have proven that I have plans. I have proven that I have permits. And yet you're still coming on telling people I don't have any of that stuff. I have only had the lease for the property 3.5 years. It took a year to get the permits to start digging the holes. And I still see you stupid people, worthless, ignorant, closer to 42 than 45 IQ people, saying that I've had the property for 6 or 7 years and all I've dug is a hole. No, I'll say it again. I've had the property lease It was October 17th. Yeah. October 17th of 2017, I got the property. So that's 3.5 years. Excuse me. It may have been 2016. So that's 4.5 years. Could be. I'll have to check on that. 4.5. So, but it took a year to get the permits. A year, 1 year. And the plans, all the plans drawn up. So I've had 3.5 years. Then at that point, then you have to start. Clear the property, put up a fence, blah, 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 and then dig the holes. So I've had 3.5 years. And within 3 months, all the holes were dug through the coral. Well, then I got injured. Then I had to go to New York to get my stuff, to do something. I had stuff to do in New York. And then remember I fell down off the ladder and I got injured, and I hear this piece of garbage, this garbage master. You have a hole in your foot, you have a hole in your head, you're bad back. Dude, you are one ignorant person. You're so ignorant that you might be two ignorant people in one. And I really hope for your benefit that some of the things you said were true, because if they're not, you're going to regret it. I'm going to put it in a video format where you'll just look like a bigger jerk than you are. So if I've had the property for 3.5 years with a permit, then I had to go out and to do whatever I did. And for 2.5 years, I've been doing other stuff. But I haven't been digging a hole for 6 years. And I still keep hearing this ignorance. Now, how damn hard could it be for any of you so-called freaking researchers? You people are stone stupid. How hard could it be for you to call up the building department and say, my name is 25901. I'm an idiot. I'm a real idiot. I post stuff on YouTube that's not true, and I can't remember what I said. But does Michael Fazio have a permit to build a hotel and plans? Legal? How hard could it be? You people have been arguing this point back and forth for 2 years, whether I have a permit, whether I don't. Are you stupid? How many hundreds of times have I shown you the permit number? Indirectly, but how many hundreds of times has the permit number appeared on my videos? You people are stone stupid. I swear to God, you're stone stupid. How hard could it be for you to call up the building department and ask them, does Fazio have a permit to build a 4-story hotel? It's a phone call. Are you too stupid to get the building department's phone number? Are you too cheap to make a long-distance phone call like that? Do you not have contacts in the Philippines that can just call up the building department? And yet you say, I don't have permits. This is the ignorance, especially the guy whose IQ is closer to 42 than 45. I'm going to embarrass you. It's just a question of a few more days. So carry on with all your bullshit, and then we'll see how that works out. I'll prove you to be a liar, and if your friends still insist that you're the man, after all the things I've shown you about you people tell people I don't have any construction on, and this freaking story about why I paint my equipment. I paint it to preserve it from the salt air. What is so hard for you to understand? You see this bottle jack I bought? See this bottle? It's painted, right? It's just painted red. It's a 5-ton bottle jack. If you don't paint this bottle jack, it'll rust in a couple of days. And then it'll be a rusty bottle jack. If you don't paint your metal equipment and everything else here, the sun beats the hell out of it. Including the tires on the wheelbarrows and tires on anything. The paint kills the ultraviolets. And the ultraviolets destroys anything rubber or plastic. Yeah, are you people that stupid? You could take a 1 gallon milk bottle out, put it in the sun. Right now, today is June. Put it outside on your deck in the sun where the sun hits it all day. Put it outside on the deck right now. Today, go out there and put a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch of water so it doesn't blow around on your deck. And just put it in the sun. And then in August, when you pick it up, you should be able to just grab it and crush it. It'll turn into dust because the ultraviolet rays will have destroyed the plastic on a molecular level. Now, take another milk bottle today, same 1 gallon milk jug, and paint it yellow. And put a 1/2 inch of water in that one. And when comes August and you go to crush it, it'll be still a milk bottle. Are you people that stupid that you don't understand what ultraviolets do to rubber? So why did I paint my tires? I painted them to keep the ultraviolet rays off the rubber. Why do I paint my tools? I painted them to keep the moisture and the salt air off the metal. You people are stone stupid. You have no knowledge of metallurgy, or you have no understanding of construction in general. People paint their tools just to mark them, if for no other reason. But some people that work on the oceans, they paint their tools to preserve them from the salt water. If you don't paint your tools and your hammer gets wet with salt water just one time, it's going to rust overnight. You're going to wake up to a rusty hammer. I don't know how to explain it to you, but you are wrong about whether or not you should paint metal, especially I live close to the beach like this. You're wrong about that. How many times does somebody have to explain something to you before you understand that I am right and you are wrong? Now, there are things to the idiot that has an IQ that's closer to 42 than 45. I do want to wager you money on some of the things, that outrageous statements you made. And in my upcoming video, I will wager you in increments of $1,000 that I can prove that what you say is wrong with physical proof. You won't take my wages, because then your answer, he doesn't have $1,000. He doesn't have this. Because you won't take my wages because you're going to lose. You either know that you lied about what you said, or you think what you heard may be not true, but you will never take my challenges. And let me tell you in advance, if I challenge you to a $1,000 wager, you're going to lose. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to challenge you on everything you said, because I don't know, even though I know that what you said is a lie, I can't prove certain things. Like, if I said to you that I gained, since this new leg injury in December, if I said to you that in December I weighed about 222 pounds or 110 kilos, that's what I weighed. But now I weigh more, a lot more. What was the weight? I'll tell you about my hospital visit yesterday. But what did I weigh yesterday? I weighed 200. With my clothes and my sneakers on, which only weigh 1.5 pounds or so. Well, maybe 2 pounds, but maybe 1 kilo. With my clothes and sneakers on, yesterday I weighed myself and I weighed 250 pounds, close, so 125 kilos. So since December, I gained 12 kilos. 15 kilos. Can I prove that? No. Can I prove I weighed 110 kilos in December? I had a video of it up when I went to the free clinic, but I don't know where that video is, what the name of it is. It's probably 2 or 3 hours long. I'm not going to search for it. But can I prove I weigh 250 now? I could if I got on a scale. But so I can't prove that, but I can tell you what it is, and it's the truth. I know it to be the truth. Now, I hear these stories from you low class, low life, ignorant, closer to 42 than 45 IQ people. I hear these stories that from the biggest, well, not the biggest. This guy, he was the biggest worthless blogger on YouTube, and now he's the second biggest worthless blogger on YouTube. There's another guy that keeps popping up. The ghost. The ghost keeps coming. He keeps all over the internet. He's doing it again. He's doing the same thing he did once before, with these comments and video segments and this, that, and the other thing. So, you people are listening to other people say that I went to a food bank when I made a video of the food bank. I made a video of somebody donating several $1,000s worth of food to the locals, and you said I went there to get free food and to take the locals' food from them. And it went all over the internet that I went to the food bank to get free food. I did not. First of all, they wouldn't give me free food, so it doesn't matter. I'm not a local. I'm not a Filipino. The food only goes to Filipinos, so I could never get food. And that I found out Saturday. I think it was Saturday. I went to the free clinic, which is right next to where they give out the free food to the local people. And I went in, and they're giving out free food again. And I went in and said to the lady knows who I am. I don't remember her name, but I said, can I go make a video? She said, yes, Michael, you can make a video, but first get permission from, it sounded like Cassandra, not at the police station, but in the municipality. So I went to the municipality because I was still going to the free clinic. And I guess I heard the name wrong, because no one named Cassandra is there. So I didn't make a video of them giving out free food again. But you can go now if you're a Filipino, or up yesterday they were still going, you can go apply for a bag of food if Filipinos are watching us. Or I don't know if it's on anymore. So I went to the free clinic on Saturday, and the woman doctor, who I have said repeatedly at the free clinic, is an excellent doctor. I mean, she's just a sweetheart, but she's okay. Okay, so here's the receipt for the hydraulic jack from yesterday, 700 pesos. Let me get this. Hold on, let me get this on the screen. This is yesterday, but I want to. I can't get it on the screen. Okay, so here's the receipt for the jack. $700 pesos right there. And she gave me a discount, and then she added the VAT tax, and it came out to 700 pesos. Here's the receipt for the medication I got yesterday from the doctor. Let's see, where's the date on this? So in this little box here, that's the date for the medication. Because a lot of people are on, you people are stone freaking stupid, man. I swear you people are stone stupid. I'll read that comment in a minute. Mickey Mason, thank you for stopping by. Now here's the receipt for the medicine on 5/31. You people are telling people I don't go to the doctor for my foot injury. Of course I go to the doctor. Yesterday makes 9, that's 5 and 4, 9 trips to the doctors, 2 to the same person. Okay? So here's the receipt from yesterday, 5/31, for the for this medicine right here, amoxiclave, which is in the penicillin family. Here's my schedule that I have. I took last night 4, and at midnight and this morning. I took the check box means I took my medicine 3 times a day. I'm taking coamoxicillin 625 3 times a day for 7 days. Okay, so I am taking medicine for my feet, and my wounds, but you can't take penicillin. Michael, you're moving back onto my good side. Hello, Michael Sevilla. Thank you for stopping by. So this is the woman. Now, I've told you I've been to 3 hospitals, 8 doctors prior to yesterday, and 7 of them could never figure out what the problem was, or misdiagnosed me what the problem was, because it's a food issue and a water issue. It's not me. I don't have diabetes, but you people are sure I have diabetes. So if I was able to take a diabetic test yesterday, I offered to take one, but they don't offer that service. And I told you once before, the lab in the city is closed down. Now, it may be open now, but it was closed down last time I went. So here is the doctor who I saw in December. Her name is Annie Grace Villanueva, MD. Annie Grace Villanueva, MD. And she works at the free clinic on Mondays and Wednesdays. She is the most professional doctor that I've gone to in a year and a half. She's really courteous and really interested in what the problem is, and listened to what I told her I think the problem was from the food and the water. More specifically, I ate spaghetti sauce with the 3 cheeses and the MSG in it for 5 days, and that's when I broke out with the lesions on my leg. I'll show you my foot injury and my leg injury next week when I do this other thing where I'm going to retort the idiot, the guy who has an IQ closer to 42 than 45. So here is the prescription from Annie yesterday. Here is the prescription. Michael Fazio, and the date is on the 5/31/2021, and that's for the amoxicillin that I have here. Okay, so I've been going to the doctors regularly. I went to one doctor in between Annie Grace, because she was not at the clinic. The clinic was closed, and I wanted medicine. So I went to a hospital in between then and now, and they gave me a different type of antibiotic, and that cleared up some of the problem, but not all of it. So Annie gave me, instead of taking two 625 amoxiclaves a day for 7 days, she gave me a prescription for 3 for 7 days. So she said this should clear up the problem, because when I told her she gave me the first one in December, that most of the infection went away. It did. But had I had a 2-week regimen of that, it probably would have cleared it up altogether. But they didn't want me to take that much antibiotics at once. So the intermediate antibiotics that I got from the hospital, the woman, that was a total disgrace to the medical industry. I don't even believe she was a doctor at the Romero Hospital. I told her, I walked in, I wanted her to take a a sample of what's oozing out of the wounds and put it in the laboratory? And she said, yes, sir. And she did not clean my wounds properly. And she gave me a prescription for a antibiotic. And then she started wrapping my leg up in bandages. I said, what are you doing? She goes, we're done. And I said, you didn't take a sample of the fluid? Yes, sir. You come back next week, because she had already wrapped up my leg. But wait a second. I came in there to get a sample of what the infection might be. I already had a sample from a year ago. It showed nothing. Nothing came up in that laboratory in my foot. So you people are that stupid that you are saying I never went to the doctors when I could show you all the receipts. I just don't have them here. For a long time, I just put them in a bag. But since I started paying taxes, I've been keeping stuff like this separate. The Philippines taxes. It won't help me with my Philippines taxes, but I'm getting serious about building the hotel, and I'm spending 50, 60, 100, 150, 175, 200,000 pesos a month on equipment and products. So I figured, well, I mean, I might as well keep a little bit of a record, even if I just throw them in a monthly envelope, and I never look at them again. Who cares? But so Mickey Mason, so I have been going to the doctor religiously 8, 9 times, including yesterday. So Mickey Mason, I'm going to get to your comment in 1 minute. So now the free clinic is free. Okay? Did I go to the free clinic because it's free? No, I did not. I went to the free clinic because that doctor was the best doctor. I feel more confident with Annie Grace Villanueva than I did with the other 6 doctors. And it's 5 minutes from my house, not an hour away, and it's free. Okay? So if I have a better doctor for free, why would I go into the city and spend on average $48, $50? Why would I spend $50 on average, especially that those people told me to use creams that are not what Annie Grace told me to use, nor another doctor from America that I'm friends with told me to use Mepirocin, this stuff here. This stuff is the stuff I should have been using, or I should use this stuff here. Not the cream that the doctors in the hospitals gave me. So I have boxes of creams that I've been using, more specifically silver sulfadiazine, to the tune of about $400, $500, $600 if you add them all up. And they've been telling me to use the wrong cream. Okay? Annie told me which cream to use a long time ago, and now I use that. But so am I going there because it's free? No, but I'm going there because she's a better doctor. So now I said to Annie, look, how can I help? Is there a donation box that I can drop some money in? She said no. So what I do is I have a video of it, but I'm not going to post it on YouTube. I went and got, for the hospital staff, there's 30 people that work in the hospital during the free clinic. So I bought 60 snacks from the bakery. I made a video, but I'm not going to post it. So anyway, and I gave it to Marisa. Marisa was the assistant to Annie. Now, when I go past the bakery again on Monday or Wednesday, I'm going to bring back another 60 snacks for them. And I'll do that until I spend the 2,400 pesos that I would have normally spent going to the hospital. Because I think that's reasonable. And plus, it was fun. I get a kick out of people that are appreciative to bring them a few hundred pesos worth of snacks. People coming up to you and say, "Oh, gee," because they know what's in the bag. They know it's a bakery bag. They know what that is. But that's what I'm going to do until I give them 2,400 pesos worth of snacks, because they wouldn't take money, and I couldn't put money in a drop box anywhere. Now I'm going to talk about Mickey Mason's comment, which was something about. Thanks, Mickey. Anyone that watches my channel, says Mickey Mason, knows that you don't get food from the food pantry. Some people are just stupid. So now, to confirm that, when I went to make the video yesterday and I needed permission from Cassandra, whatever her name was, I said to them, well, when I first walked in before the woman who knew who I was at the main desk there, you can't go sit down and wait for food until you register. So the first woman said, "Sir, you're not eligible for food. You're not Filipino." So of course I said, "Nagpoyo ko sa Mindanao, Zamboanga, Mike. I am Filipino." And she looked at me like this. And what I basically said, that is, I live in Mindanao, I'm Filipino. Now, the other lady at the desk, she laughed. And of course, everybody else was laughing also, because they all know who I am. Except that one lady, apparently she didn't know who I was. So now she does. So I'm not eligible to get free food. Oh, I got something else to tell you about senior citizen discount cards. So I'm not eligible to get free food. I'm not even eligible because I'm not, maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to inquire about it. I might inquire about it next time so I could tell you. But there are no poor foreigners living here. That there was no foreigners waiting for the free food in the seating that you could see. So Mickey Mason is correct. Plus, with the videos of what I spend here on cell phones and equipment and materials and plywood, do you not understand that when I walk past the local police department, everybody says, "Good morning, Michael. Hey, Mike, how are you?" They give me a whoop on the siren. The fire department, the same thing. Do you not understand that everybody knows? I would never try to get food from the local people. So that I'm not eligible for food. I don't want food, but I hear stories about me asking that I took. You know, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to be so freaking serious. In real life, that's the kind of shit that I guess you could run that kind of crap to a sissy, a girly man, but in real life, if you ran that stuff to a quote unquote a real man, they'd probably crack you. Now, maybe not in the Philippines, because, you know, we're here not to get in physical altercations here, but in real life in New York, if you said that someone's wife was a prostitute or a whore or something like that, the guy might break your jaw. Or if you were stealing food from the locals in a food bank and he said it in front of a bunch of people, in person, somebody might just reach out and break your freaking jaw. Bolo punch you. That'll do it. And you don't understand that. I did not, and I can't do anything other than deny that I got food. I would never take food from the Filipino people. Even when I walk down the block and they offer me food, Yesterday I had a problem getting down my block. There was 15 men waiting to ambush me with 2 gallons of tuba and a bottle of tanduay. When they saw me walking down the block, and they all got in the middle of the street. "Hello, Scott." And Jollibee Ashkill. "Hello, my friend. Thank you." They were waiting to end. They had a glass of tuba and a glass of tanduay rum. And this, it's like it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I still have stuff to do when I get home. So I don't want to take their rum or their tuba. And I don't drink, I would never drink during the day. I would never drink before I was done doing everything I had to do. So the fact that I'm being called an alcoholic, that's a little bit annoying. That's the kind of thing that somebody would reach out and touch you for. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. If you said that shit to somebody in real life in America, they might just reach out and touch you. I have a way. I'm going to read this and then I'll go back, digress. Thank you. Okay, so hello, Michael Sevilla. Many stupid people out there. Thank you. Says Michael Sevilla. Johnny Adriel, could vaccine Johnny Adriel. Now, Johnny Adriel's been following me since I was supposed to have died. He said in a comment the other day. I read that. Thank you. Could vaccine make me sick as a dog? Okay, now sickest I've been in my life. Johnny? Oh, man. Johnny, yes. The answer is yes. People are falling down left and right after they take some of those different types of vaccines. No one knows why, but that is happening. Let me look for something for you, Johnny. Hold on. I'm going to look for the name of a video. For Johnny about that topic. I found it. Okay. I'm going to open up the video, which the name of the video is You Don't Want to Miss This, Johnny. So I cannot play this video on YouTube. And it's on Rumble. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to give Johnny Adriel his answer in the form of a video that was sent to me from a proper researcher. I will not give his name. There's a group of us that share videos. They mostly share to me because we've been friends for now going on 7 years, some of us. So I'm going to give you the name of the video on Rumble. And you're going to... and I'm going to give you the link for the video as well. And then you can research this video and see what truths or lies, deception or half-truths that come out of it. But I'm going to tell you, it is by far the best video I've ever seen on this whole process. So, let me post that for you, Johnny Adriel, because construction tools. Okay, so... all right. That is let me see, where the hell is that link? Hold on a minute. Okay, here it is right here. Okay. Here's the link right here. I'll post that 3 times. This is the proper link. And that video is by far the best. Okay? So, there's your answer. Hello, Jollibee Ashkel. Max's of Manila. That's an expensive product. Yeah. Just like the leftists in USA, if you were really a bad person and incompetent and unaccomplished loser, they wouldn't have to make things up about you or spread false outrage. They're pathetic. Okay, so that's what we got there. And pretty much that's all I really have to say about what I have to say about that. You have, Johnny, if that is not the video I wanted you to watch, but that video is probably the best video. That's why it's not on YouTube. It's not allowed on YouTube. It was on YouTube, but it got shut down like within minutes. But there's a whole series of these types of videos. So with that, I'm going to say thanks for everybody for stopping by. It's still raining out on and off, and I have to. Oh, one more thing. Senior citizens card in the Philippines. This pharmacy that I spent the 1,531 pesos for, 543 pesos for this medicine. So this woman in the pharmacy, she's a sweetheart. Okay. If they don't have something, they'll order it from me, or they'll give me the best. They'll give me the advice that the generic brand is as good as the name brand. She's a sweetheart. The woman in this 360 pharmacy in Panglao here, in Dolho. So what had happened was, when I put some pills that I had, they come. This is the pill. This is some of the pills I have to take. They come in packages of 5 like this. Well, apparently one of these packages ripped off like that. And when she handed it to me, they put these 2 together, and it fell out of my hand onto the floor, on the drugstore floor. So it's a question of $2.40. Not a big deal for all 3. So I went in there yesterday to get my medicine, and I said to the lady, did you find the pills? Well, no. So when they fell on the floor, apparently they fell, because by the time I got home in the tricycle, they weren't in the tricycle, and this was 2 weeks ago. She looked on the computer. Their computer tells you how many of those pills they have in stock. And I know she's always given me the right count. That is not a problem with this. And then they counted how many pills. They went out of their way to count how many pills were still in boxes on the shelf. And their count was correct. So no one gave them back the pills. So someone took my pills, not knowing what they were for, or not being able to use them for what they are for. And I guess they took them home. Maybe they knew what they were. Who knows? But so with that, I said to this pharmacist, who always assists me personally, is there a senior citizens discount? She said, yes, sir. And I said, well, can I have it? Because when I go to the bank, I go to the head of the line. When I go into the any bank, I go straight to the head of the line. No, now I don't have to wait because now they put me in as a senior citizen, which is nice. I don't mind waiting sometimes, but sometimes I don't want to wait, and they'll let me go right up to the front. She said, yes, sir, there's a senior citizen's card. I said, may I have it? The discount? She said, no, sir. In order to get the senior citizen's discount, you have to bring your passport and your ID, and I guess you'd have to bring your your immigration paperwork, and you have to go to your local municipality. So anybody out there that's 65 or over, if you buy medicine, you go to your local municipality with all your identification. Just bring everything, and then apply for your card, and it's 20% off all medicine in the 360 drugstore. Probably in the local pharmacy, they wouldn't give you 20% off. I don't know if they give you a discount at all. But in 360, probably Mercury and Rose Pharmacy, they probably all give you that 20% discount. So that medicine that was 1.5, I would have saved approximately 300 pesos, which is a considerable amount of money. It's 20%. So that's how you get your senior citizens discount card. So, all right, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for stopping by. And Amping Permi, which means take care always, from Michael Fazio in the Philippines, baby. Bye-bye for now.